Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right. And to keep us positive, to make sure we don't have any stuffy negative criticism, we decided to make this episode a drinking game.
Oh, no.
Ow!
So anytime we say anything negative at all about this film, about each other, about how, whether it's fruit or flesh, Dave eats it, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means we're taking a drink, and we hope you drink along with us.
So, pour yourself a glass. We watch a film that runs like a Visit Australia tourism commercial, except for the suicides, the omission of the 20 things that'll kill you in each shot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Like, for instance,
I saw a lot of things that'll kill you.
The sun will kill you.
The sun, probably at the top of the list. That's right. And apparently your father. All right, guys, we are talking about 1971's Walkabout. Why? Because the random year generator spun 1971.
Well, let's get weird.
This is on HBO Max now. It's also on Criterion, I believe. It is our second Australian movie of this time period after Picnic at Hanging Rock, right? And
I think it's our first Nicholas Roeg film. I don't think we've done anything by him yet.
I certainly don't think so, because I looked up how to pronounce Nicholas Roeg. So
is that how you pronounce it? Have I always pronounced it incorrectly?
Yeah, you
okay.
said it correctly.
Okay.
And it's Jenny Agutter, who you might know from Logan's Run. And Dave, you might know her from the MCU. How about that? She's one of the councilwomen in the first. She's in one of the first Avengers, and then she's either in Thor, Dark World, or Civil War or something.
Well, that's
she's
why
like
nobody knows
member.
her. She's
in like the government
nice,
council.
Yeah. She is literally councilwoman is like her title. Anyway,
Weird.
yeah. So anyway, we're doing Walkabout. If you're new to the show, we are a real drinking show, so we want to get drinking. John is going to give us a mini review of Tony. That is the Anthony Bourdain in the 70s, played by the kid from The Holdovers, which is also set in the 70s movie. Sort of John's joke. You're going to do a mini review of that. Then we're going to do a year in review of 1971, what was going on, to set the context of how this movie came out and how it fits into the rest of the year. So if you really just want to hear us talk about Walkabout, if that's the reason you joined us, check the show notes, check the chapters, scoot ahead. We might be a little drunker than we are now, depending on how much shit we say about each other. But we hope you stick along with us and enjoy the ride. You guys ready to vote on this?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
We have a YouTube channel. You can see us do this for real. And we vote. And we put a little emoji with what we thought of the movie. And it's going to have to stay with us the entire episode until we can defend our position at the end. So, are you guys ready to vote? Did you like it? Did you love it? After the drum roll. And 3, 2, 1. John went with the gold star. I see. Okay, Dave went with It's Okay. And I'm telling you right now, it's not for me, but I'm very excited to talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about all the good things too. I'm gonna talk about the good things.
Yeah,
we're positive
This
film
is
podcast.
This might be the best spread we've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Is that a 2 to a 6?
Yeah, I guess mine's a 2.
I think it is.
I'm glad he says not for me, because if he said it's almost shit, I don't think I would have gone for it. But not for me as 2s. I'll take that. And Dave's right there in the middle of It's Okay. Love it. Okay, John, let's shout our sponsors out so we can rock.
Let's do it. Carlos Barozzo makes beer. You can see his handle in the show notes. cbarozzo.beer. That's the handle on the Instagram. Go there, follow him, tell him we sent you there. Maybe he'll give you some beer, because he doesn't give us beer anymore. Carlos, come on. Give it to us. Give us the brews.
You're
come
in
on.
California, dude.
I want the beer. Dasein. Dasein makes music. Dasein gives us his music. We put it on the show. Dasein. Dasein. You can follow the show note link if you want to, or you can just go wherever the fuck you listen to music. His music is there. Dasein is ready for you. Dasein. Dasein.
Design. All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess
let's
we
do
think
it.
Mini review. Why don't you do it?
Yeah, let me just hop right in. So I think Tony, the film, is in limited release, I'm guessing, because I wasn't clear that it was out. One of our buddies, Matt, from the Mad Mark Movie Show, saw it at a Regal. And Regal sometimes, I think on Wednesdays, does like a mystery movie thing. And you can go and you're not quite sure what it's going to be. And it's usually a newer movie that isn't totally out yet. Or
AMC does that now, too.
Okay, cool. So this is clearly some kind of limited release. And it's probably in a big city near you. So I saw this movie. It's directed by Matt Johnson, written by Matt Johnson and 2 other gentlemen, Howe and Todd Bartels. Matt Johnson I have not seen Nirvana, the what's the fact?
Right.
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, but I have seen Blackberry. Do you guys remember when I talked about that?
Yes, yeah.
So that's him, and he's in Blackberry too.
Nice.
He's very good in it. He's a great actor too. He's funny. So this is the first time I've seen something other than Blackberry, and I've heard the Nirvana movie's fantastic. This movie is you should definitely go see it if you want to see. You don't have to just see it because you know who Anthony Bourdain is. That's kind of what I want to say. It's a summer movie. It's a coming of age summer movie more than anything else.
Good thing it's going to come out in September for most people.
Yeah, sure. It just happens to star kind of someone who became a little bit of an icon in our pop culture, food culture, and that we're all very aware of their early demise and the sadness around that. And so it's very aware of that, and it leans into it and to the genre of like summer coming of age. Like, you know, he's like in college and he's like spending a summer in a different place, and he's hit with the whole food thing for the first time in his life, and it fucks and all this other shit's going wrong in his life. And it's, in a way, it's kind of exactly what you think it's going to be in terms of like hitting the notes of that kind of coming of age, but it works. And it works because the tone is strong. It feels good. It's definitely a feel-good kind of movie. There's drama there. There's darkness to Anthony Bourdain's life, and they don't shy away from it. There's darkness to the people he's surrounded by. There's some really fucked up shit. But it definitely is like, you know who we're talking about. You know the man he became, and this is kind of the beginning of that. So you feel good. And it's set in fucking Providence, Rhode Island. In the summer. I mean, come on. You know, it's just like it feels good the whole time. So yeah, I think if you're in the mood for that kind of like sort of slice of life biopic style set in the summer coming of age kind of thing, like this is probably going to be a movie you'll really enjoy. So yeah, I recommend it. You should go see it. And what's his name? Dominic Sessa is good. You know, he's great. And there are so many other people that are in it. Like if anyone saw White Lotus season 2.
Yeah, Leo Woodall.
Leo Woodall is fantastic in this. Antonio Banderas is always good.
He's also in One Day.
Also really good in this. Yeah,
Emilia Jones
is good.
from Coda. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, she was really good. Stavros, Halkias, is he a comedian? He was funny. He was good. It was good. Michael Jibrin, it was good. It was a strong little cast. And if you have any love for food and restaurants and shit, of course you're going to enjoy watching it. It's just, you know, it's so much is about that. Okay, let's do it.
I was kind of hoping the Bear season 4 would just be this. Instead of moving forward, just back in time, back into the kitchen. Just be a full-on drama. All right, anyway. Great. Any other things you wanna say before we start talking about 1971? Dave, you want to talk about anything?
Did you guys see the news this morning? The sad news about Hayden Panettiere?
I saw it last night.
Yeah.
I saw it while I was watching this movie, by the way.
Like, dude, and that's
pour one out for
she does some great work in Heroes and Nashville.
I know, it's so fucked up. It really does.
You know, I was just...
It kind of reminds me of kind of like the Matthew Perry trajectory, where the book, and kind of like she was kind of trying to get back into it and kind of start doing things her way and try to find a way. So who knows how it happened or what went wrong.
We don't know.
Super sad, super tragic. I'm really, really sorry that happened.
You know, I was reading about Jim Parsons said like he wouldn't do the Big Bang Theory again for any money. And I was like, man, I don't know, $100 million sounds pretty good. I think I can go through a couple of years of stress for that. And then this happens. And, you know, in many ways, Hayden Panettiere's life was worse because even though she was a child star, so therefore success and money and whatever came early, you know, the way she has talked recently that has been brought back to light about how the pressure of basically people trying to keep you a certain way, especially when you book a job as a young person and you age. Yeah. You know, like the Heroes, for instance, where they want to be the cheerleader for years and stuff.
Right? Like
and way harder for a woman, so I think she'd appreciate those conversations being brought up now. You know, we're celebrating her life, of course, too, but I think she would appreciate that it's shining that light on it.
I hope so, yeah. Well, anyway.
I have a gripe to get us cheered. It's a quick gripe.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, bring us back up. Jesus.
Okay, it's a minute-free, buzzer-free gripe. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. People need to be better at diving. diving into pools, diving into the ocean, diving off of boats. I can't tell you how many times I'm seeing movies. We talk about this. If you're an athlete, right, and you play basketball and you have a terrible shot, fuck you. Like you ruin the whole movie. These people are supposed to be like athletic and cool, and then they dive and have I done this one already? Have I done this right before, or have I just practiced it? Okay. And then their legs get all floppy and it like hits their ass and they fucking don't know how to fucking dive. How hard is it just point your fucking feet when you dive and push off? Yeah, I was on swim team, so I was taught how to dive in a Speedo. That's right. But like, come on, what is up with people? Just learn how to fucking dive into the water, especially if you're going to be in a movie. Don't do that. Just be like, I know how to dive, and then look like a fucking idiot. Learn how to dive. Keep your body straight and grow up.
Do you have a specific example? Like what triggered this?
I actually don't remember. I don't remember. I'm going to come back to it and I'm going to think, but all the time. So many diving.
I'm stopping the timer, but I'm still penalizing you for giving us the mental image of you in Speedos.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Pretty
I can't do this show when I'm horny.
Okay. Oh certainly not this week, Dave.
Oh, God.
That's so good. Okay. That's it. Okay. We're back. I can't think of any I don't know why. I'm awful. I did this gripe, and now I can't even remember why I wrote this down.
I want to know.
Yeah. One of the Olympic swimmers pissed you off.
Let's fucking hit it.
Yeah, one of the Olympic. Just fucking straighten your legs. It's so dumb.
Dude,
okay.
if you get pissed off at anything in Olympics, it should be the breakdancing.
Which is never happening again, thanks to the country that our movie is set in. Yeah. All right. And by the way, it's called Breaking. So we're going to do 1971 year in review. Now, this is the first time we've done the year in review, but we have done at least one movie from this year. Can anybody remind me, what movie from 1971 have we talked about on this here podcast of ours?
You guys did it without me.
What? Oh my God, we did. And I'd read the book, and I was giving Dave a book review.
Clockwork Orange.
Yes, we did Clockwork Orange once upon a time. Just Dave and I. And again,
why did we do that without you? Jeez.
Yeah.
Were we punishing you or something?
All the time. There were almost every week we were like, why are we doing this without John?
It was a good episode. I listened to it. Clockwork Orange.
Oh, thanks, man.
Kubrick.
Clockwork Orange. That's right. We totally did that. Okay. Well, 1971 in film. So I used two different sites for this because 1971 comes right before that sort of Jaws era where like the numbers are a little bit more reliable.
Yeah.
So I have Wikipedia has one number, of course, and most of that's the domestic receipts. But I also found filmdbboxoffice.uk.co.uk. Filmdb box office, which claims to have accurate numbers of
you can't trust those limey bastards.
So who do you think is more reliable in this? Wikipedia or filmdb.co.uk?
I'm going for Wikipedia, but I don't know.
We are getting quite popular in the UK too, so I should apologise for that limey bastards remark. You limey bastards.
Okay, Wikipedia. The Wikipedia number one is the FilmDB number two. So what do you think was the highest grossing movie from 1971?
Oh, God.
According to Wikipedia.
I'm going to take a swing with
Go ahead.
Fiddler on the Roof.
John, you're getting way good at this. Like, you're getting way
Well, I've told you, my strategy is not hard to figure out. If there's a fucking musical, it's always a good guess if it's before Jaws.
Always bad on the musical. You're absolutely right.
And then my next guess was a fucking Bond movie, so that's probably at least top 5.
Diamonds Are Forever?
Yeah.
Diamonds Are Forever is the number one on the other list. You piece of garbage. I'm so fucking mad at you. I'm so fucking pissed. Get out of here. So according to FilmDB, Diamonds Are Forever made $116 million worldwide in 1971.
Nice.
In 1971, where a semester of Harvard cost $2,000, this movie made $100 million worldwide. Holy shit, according to this random ass site. It says Fiddler on the Roof made 83 worldwide. Wikipedia says 40 million in domestic rentals. Okay, but I'm going to stick now with the Wikipedia list. Number 2, Billy Jack for Warner Brothers. $32 million of domestic rentals. Number 3, I'm actually surprised this was up so high. The French Connection. Number 3. Cool. I would have thought that was, obviously people liked it. People like movies, but number 3.
I'm not really surprised by that. That's,
that it was such a hit. I mean, obviously he did this and then The Exorcist back to back. John's told the story many times about The Exorcist being one of the highest grossing movies of all time, adjusted for inflation. But man, The French Connection, number 3. How fucking good is Gene Hackman in The French Connection? Shout out to Roy Scheider, too. I mean, come on. Number 4, Summer of 42. Summer of 42. Nothing going on in the world in 42. Just not a care in the world, for sure. That's a Warner Brothers. Diamonds Are Forever is number 5 on this list with $19 million domestically. So $100 million internationally. I don't know how that makes any sense, but whatever. Number 6, Dirty Harry. Number 6, Dirty Harry.
Sure. Yeah.
Number 7, and I am surprised by this, A Clockwork Orange. I know that the book was banned the movie would become banned in the UK because of the copycats, or maybe it was just the book. I don't know. I forget the story. Dave, we did the episode. I don't remember. I drank on the show.
This is life before Jaws, right? It's life before comic book movie kind of style things, like really dominating.
Well, I was just saying that they banned it because of the copycats, and I can't remember if that was because of the book or the movie or both. The book was banned for a long time in the UK. I thought they banned the movie too. I thought they banned the movie.
The UK did.
Yes. Anyway, number 8, Carnal Knowledge. It was an embassy picture. Picture. The Last Picture Show comes in at The Last Picture Show comes in at number 9. That was on our list, a short list for us doing this week. We didn't do it. And then last, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Sounds sexy.
I've seen that.
The list. Just really quick, a couple other movies that made some money on the other list. Vanishing Point. Made a whole lot of money internationally. I don't really know much about that movie, to be honest with you. Klute came in at number 12 on the other list. That's pretty good. The Andromeda Strain. Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Shaft, which would win an Oscar for Best Song. And I just want to shout out, guys, John, Dave, we live together. Sweetback's badass song actually made $15 million worldwide, according to this site, on a budget of $150,000, which came from mostly Black Panthers and grassroots organizing. We saw that movie, and we got to do a talk back, or listen to a talk back with Van Peebles.
Melvin Van Peebles. Isn't that his name?
Who was very old and apparently either still lives in Queens or he's from Queens. And he was talking about it, and it was fucking cool. At the Queens World Film Festival.
Yeah, Melvin Van Peebles.
Melvin
he was
Van
cool
Peebles.
As fuck.
Holy shit. Obviously, Spike Lee has mentioned him as a huge inspiration. This is one of the first blaxploitation films, certainly one that was commercially successful. That was actually the highest grossing independent film of 1971. Independent studio film. Cool. It's the highest grossing. Awesome. The first IMAX projection system premiered in Orlando's Cinesphere in Toronto. New president of Paramount Pictures. The National Film School of Britain opens in Beaconsfield Film Studios.
How old was Chris Nolan, do you think, do you think he got his first erection the same day that thing debuted in Orlando? He would have been about 12, around 10 years old.
He just threw his Super 8 out. He just threw it in the garbage. Just only lugged around.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Oh my God. Anyway, any other movies you want to shout out from this year? I have a couple here, but I'll let you go first.
Carnal Knowledge, I did just want to shout it out. I asked if you had seen it before. It's a cool, very lesser known Mike Nichols movie starring Art Garfunkel, Jack Nicholson, and Candice Bergen. Pretty interesting, representative movie of that kind of movie in the 70s. There's just all character, very little plot, just people you want to watch on screen talking to each other about kind of sexual scenarios.
Garfunkel really handled the split with Simon pretty well, huh?
I guess so. There was one other thing. Oh my God, yes. I think I may have mentioned this movie before, but I'm going to say it again because it deserves it. The Immigrants, Jan Troels. He's 2 movies, and the first one is called The Immigrants. The second one is called The Land or Home. I need to look it up, but this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Swedish director, starring your boy, fucking Max von Sydow, and Liv Ullmann, the 2 fucking greats of Swedish cinema. It is the most realistic portrayal of immigrating to America in that part of the the world, late 20th, 19th century into 20th century. It's unbelievable. I recommend watching it immediately. I'll stop after that just because there's other movies, but that's the movie. That's the movie of the year.
That's awesome. I want to shout out The Devils that Ken Russell directed with Vanessa Redgrave, and Straw Dogs of Dustin Hoffman. There were two that I wanted to shout out.
The Devils is about to re-release as well. In cinema.
Yes.
Here. Hoffman.
Are you
baby.
serious? Oh, sweet, dude. Because remember, we thought about doing it, but it wasn't even available for rent or anything.
It's the trailer came out like 2 days ago.
Oh,
re-release.
yeah. We're going to have to read it in 71.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
Ken Russell. We did Altered
Russell.
States in the past. Okay, Oscars really quick. The French Connection would win picture and director for William Friedkin.
Hey-o.
Again, he did follow up the French Connection best Oscar win with doing a horror movie, The Exorcist. People thought he was crazy. Gene Hackman would win his first Oscar for The French Connection, beating out people like Peter Finch for Sunday Bloody Sunday and Topol for Fiddler on the Roof. Jane Fonda would win for Clute. Damn right she did. Ben Johnson would win supporting actor for The Last Picture Show, and Cloris Leachman would win for The Last Picture Show as well. Hattie Chayefsky would win his second writing Oscar after previous episode Marty and before previous episode Network. He has 3 writing Oscars, and French Connection would win adapted screenplay. Score would go to a tie between Michael Legrand for Summer of 1942 and, guys, his first Oscar, John Williams scored Fiddler on the Roof. His first Oscar.
Was it additional music or was he the orchestrator for?
I don't know. It just says Best Original Score and it gives him the credit.
Which is so strange, right? Because he obviously did not write Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes.
Jeff, who wrote Fiddler on the Roof?
Win. Don't tell me. Fucking, it's the two of them. The two fucking guys.
B&H.
B&H. Bob.
You buying a camera?
Bonnie and Bach and Harnick.
Yes. God, that musical is awesome. God, I love Fiddler on the Roof, dude. I fucking love that musical, dude. Didn't we have to do a big project in music history? Like our degree was academic at all. But that one class that was academic, you had to do like a big project. And I think I did mine on Fiddler. God, I love that musical.
I did Ragtime. I'm jealous as fuck of you. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda at his own wedding got all of the men to sing L'Chaim. That is from Fiddler, right? L'Chaim.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I've put it up as a tradition. Okay, Theme from Shaft would win the Oscar for Best Original Song. That's right. Theme from Shaft. Fuck yeah. And
shut your mouth.
The Palme d'Or would go to The Go-Between from the UK, and the Golden Bear would go to The Garden of Finzi Continis by Vittorio De Sica. And that's it. I'm going to do a little bit of world news. Just a little bit. You guys ready?
Bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the one thing that came up this year, and I don't know, it came up a couple times in my search, so I'm going to go ahead and shout it out. It's the year that food changed forever. Now, another movie came out this year that we didn't mention was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate Factory,
came
hell
out
yeah.
in 1971, and that was one of the first movies that was ever produced or financed by a food company.
Who was it, Mars?
Chex, and they branded
Chex?
I think so. I don't know. You can look it up. I don't know. I can't remember.
I am gonna
They
look it up.
branded the fuck out of it. They had the Wonka. There were a couple Wonka bars that didn't do well, but they had the Wonka bar come out. But anyway, you know what else happened this year? Starbucks was founded.
What?
Frozen margaritas hit Texas.
That's like saying you caught herpes in that year.
I thought it was because I know Ken. I know, John. I know because what's his name? Fucking
Crazy.
Kenny G. Kenny G was a big investor in Starbucks, but I know that was just like a regular old coffee shop.
I know that buzz was for me, John. I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna be a good sport.
Whatever. Fuck you both. Frozen margaritas hit Texas. Vitamin charged cereal came out. Hamburger Helper hit stores. So that's Dave's nutritional makeup right there. Came out here starting in 1971.
That's why Dave's on medication now.
Vitamin charged
noodles.
cereal. I'm still stuck on that. Hold on a second. They hadn't figured out that cereal wasn't great for you
Vitamin
yet. They
charged.
were like,
No, but you know
let's
what's funny?
just boost it up with some vitamins.
You know what's funny? And I'm not kidding. The vitamin charged cereal was usually in chocolate cereals, like fucking Count Chocula shit. They were like, "There's vitamin charge. It's chocolate, but there's vitamins in there." Basically, it's basically like we're a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's like we got the vitamins. You just have to give them this chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So
Again,
have
Willy
some
Wonka.
vitamins and diabetes.
Yes, that's right. Diabetes. Yeah, it's just like the commercial. Cup noodles were the first instant ramen in a cup. but actually came out in Japan. It didn't come out for 2 more years until it hit the U.S.
And
when it came out as
you can
cup
find it
noodles.
at colleges everywhere.
That's right. You know what else? One of the top grossing foods this year was actually new to 1971, which is the Quarter Pounder at McDonald's. This is the year they introduced the Quarter Pounder, and it was really popular. And they also opened their first McDonald's in Tokyo. And guys, the fucking Hamburglar came out this year. The Hamburglar.
Huh.
How about that?
Nice.
They invented new pans for cooking. They even invented manly soups. Soups targeted for men started coming out in 1971. So that's what I want you to
I have a
remember
question.
more than anything else.
What size do you think the burger was before the Quarter Pounder?
I don't know. Whatever the Big Mac was.
I think
a Big Mac was first.
I think it was
No,
just
the
the
first thing
hamburger.
they used to make was just a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
2 pickle ketchup. But I didn't know what the size was. Now I'm wondering.
You know what I never
Doesn't
understood?
matter.
I never understood how the Big Mac is supposedly so much healthier than the Quarter Pounder. They're both just fucking burgers. Did you ever see that?
That's not the right word
Yeah.
to use when you're comparing two fast food burgers.
The Big Mac is less deadly than the Quarter Pounder.
And
You're right,
how?
less deadly.
Right? Like, how is that?
All right. Well, here are a couple other things. A Quarter Pounder cost 53 cents. The average annual income was 10 grand. The average cost of a new house was 25 grand. 2.5 times. Can you imagine if the average house today was like 200,000? Right? The average, what is that? 67, 70,000 is the average.
That's a good estimate, around 200. Man, fuck.
Yeah. The average monthly rent was 150. The average price of a new car was 3,500. Inflation rate 4.38, which is a little high. Property crime per 1,000 people 37. I don't know what am I even looking at? Why am I even saying that? Like I don't even know what that means. Sports facts. How about this? The Pittsburgh Pirates won their 4th World Series. The Baltimore Colts were in the Super Bowl, and the Montreal Canadiens clinched the Stanley Cup. So those are things that would definitely not happen this year.
And the fact that he
Is
got
their
out
name
Pittsburgh
still
Pirates
the
without popping his microphone means his filter's working tonight.
Here you go. Is their name still the Canadians?
It sure is. Sometimes they're known as the Habs, but yes, they are the Canadians, and they
Original.
them in Toronto are still struggling to get that first cup in a very long time. Struggling, but I'm rooting for the Maple Leafs. I've always rooted for the
Who
Maple
did the
Leafs.
Great
I'm a
One play
Devils
for?
fan. I'm a Devils fan, and the Maple Leafs are in my division, but I'm rooting for the Maple
Who
Leafs.
did Gretzky play for?
Well, he started with the Edmonton Oilers. Is that right? Yes, the Edmonton Oilers. And then he won 4 cups with them with Mark Messier. And then he went to the LA Kings because they could afford him.
Oh, I don't think I thought he played for one of the Canadian teams. Okay.
Edmonton, he did. But then he left. And I think he even played for the Rangers for a year or something like that. But yeah, he wanted to become the highest paid hockey player in the world when he deserved to. But yeah, him and Messier won 4 cups with. It's got to be Edmonton, right? It's not Calgary. It's Edmonton. It's fucking Edmonton. Anyway,
You're
okay.
just talking to yourself now, dude. No.
Cool. Guys, American companies that were founded this year. I already mentioned Starbucks. I didn't mention Sunglass Hut, the Shane Company, NASDAQ. NASDAQ started this year. Jiffy Lube, fucking FedEx, Cuisinart,
What the fuck?
and Bed Bath & Beyond all came out this year. That's a heavy-hitting year. Consumer products that launched this year included Buckwheat's cereal, Herbal Essence hair products, the Intel microprocessor, and Spree candy in the Wonka bar. There you go. And you know what? On January 1st, the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act made it illegal for tobacco companies to advertise cigarettes on television and radio in 1971.
Now we've
People
just got
stopped smoking
medication to go.
immediately. Yes, that's right.
That's when it became really cool.
Also, yes, that's right. That's when all of a sudden they were like, this is cool as fuck. The Ed Sullivan Show aired its last episode. Southwest Airlines. Oh, wait. Southwest Airlines actually started this year.
Wow.
Or maybe it began flights. Maybe it was founded already, and this is the first year it had flights. By the way, RIP to Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, they made it to
Right?
this year.
That was this year, right? So 1971 to 2026, Southwest.
They just finished?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't Southwest.
No, it's Frontier.
Southwest?
I flew Southwest 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frontier.
No, you
is,
stole a plane 2 weeks ago.
you know what's pissing me off? LaGuardia used to have Southwest, or does it have Southwest still? It still does, right?
I don't know.
I was Googling to my wedding site, and everything's fucking expensive from New York to LA, which makes sense. But there's Southwest flights for like $200 in certain parts of the country. And I was like, fuck, how come New York doesn't have that? And then fucking Spirit folded. Spirit's what it was.
Spirit,
Now,
yeah.
Spirit, you literally had to like go through barbed
Spirit.
wires to get on a Spirit plane in New York. and they didn't even have electronic boards. They just put up pieces of paper that told you like, don't bring a gun. And also your gate is this way. Like literally pieces of paper that you could just rip off the wall, like taped up there.
Good luck.
Everybody
didn't have
pick the one
food.
guy who's going to wind up the plane before you get on.
The food was the egg sandwich from the day before at Terminal B that got passed on to Terminal A. Anyway, whatever. I want
The
more
plane we
low-cost
were on,
carriers.
the Southwest plane, was registered in 2003.
Good year.
That thing was all
year.
no outlets, of course, nothing on the back of the seat. You know, it just
Yeah,
it
I just
felt
wanna-
like the millennium had just passed, and we were right
just would like-
to believe that.
Can't we just get a Ryanair? Can't we just get Ryanair? Also, Southwest started between Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. So it's not exactly Southwest. That sounds like pretty south. But anyway. All right, guys. Let's get into our movie. You guys ready to get into our movie?
Sure.
Yeah, this movie you guys hated.
Hey, I just said it was not for me. I just said it's not for me. Talk me up. Talk me up.
It's like, I was so gay.
I was thinking if I had just 5 or 6 more different kinds of salamander shots in this movie, then I would totally say it was great.
Well, what
If I
about
just had a couple different more
What about the
angles.
one lizard eating another lizard? That was
was
two
cool.
lizards for one.
It wasn't even eating, it was just in its mouth. It was like it was posing for the picture and it waved to the camera. I was like,
what,
I'm
it's
in the
just-
middle of this.
It's like, buddy, get in my mouth. This will be funny.
Hold.
Get in my
Yeah,
mouth
let's do it.
if you want to live. All right. Well, as always, I am going to read the IMDb description and then send it on its way. Had either of you seen this? Dave, you lived this.
I have
not
not
exactly.
seen this. I
did
kind of
not
have lived this.
live
I drove right through where they shot it, mostly.
Dave, it's set in the Outback, and they mentioned Adelaide was the closest city. Did you live in Adelaide?
Yes, and drove from there to Sydney. Yeah.
I hope you had a full tank.
Basically, a
This is not a place
documentary
everyone
about
Dude, I had a
Dave's
full
life.
tank. I had what? Don't if PSA here. Just do not go out in the Australian desert without a fucking big water bottle. Like I'm talking days of water. Because if you break down on the side of the road, a car will not come past for 2 days.
You got to have that thing ready to shove into the ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That
So
works.
that nice clean water, too. I'm sure there's just no
Dude,
impurities in there.
it's water.
They probably had
Yeah,
a
I'll
tummy
drink
ache after
the
that.
sand along with it.
Yeah, we don't put the weird shit in with the water here.
All right, you ready? It says this is the IMDb description. It says
Sure.
2 city-bred siblings. I don't think they mentioned that they're English. They're not from Australia, but I don't know. Maybe they're living. I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, 2 city-bred siblings are stranded in the Australian outback where they learn to survive with the aid of an Aboriginal boy on his walkabout, a ritual separation from his tribe.
Now
wants
this
to go
is my
first?
first problem with this movie. It's 2 city-bred kids from England. Now, when I was working cruise ships, I met a guy from England, joined the ship, and he went to the beach like he was a normal person, just for 1 day. He went out in the sun for 1 day. That dude was roasted red for 3 fucking days. They had to put him in his cabin and isolate him. He couldn't be seen by other passengers. He was a fucking troll.
Well, Dave, they did, but then as soon
Well, he
as
had
they
to be
found
covered
the water,
in kangaroo blood. This little kid
Yeah,
had
that's
to
right.
be.
Also, the cruise
was a
ship, I
happy
didn't have
accident.
kangaroos.
Was that some fucking roo blood?
yeah.
Is that
Well,
some
that was the-
fucking?
Yeah, fucking get that in you.
Well, that was the director pimping out his own son, and then his son got crazy sunburn. He said, "Oh, let's film it. Let's put it in the movie." And he's like, "Dad," and he's like, "Shut up. It'll be good in the
Yeah,
movie."
he's like, let's really burn him.
"Good, they put
let's
that
really
because they were
fuck-
burnt and had really chapped lips, and then all of a sudden they found some water and they were fine. The water washed everything right off." Anyway, who wants to go first?
I guess I should kick it off for something good, and then you guys can take it down and down and down, and then I'll
Hey.
try to rescue it again. This movie, second time I've seen it. I think first time I saw it, though, was in that long burst of when I was living with you guys, and I was watching so many movies like this, just back to back to back. So I didn't remember like every detail. I did remember the opening because that thing really hits you in the face, and it caught me off guard the first time.
The title
And I
scroll,
could
or-
not remember the sequence of how they start this movie and how the kids finally leave their dad. And I don't care about spoilers. Like, folks, if you haven't watched it now, it's a 1971 movie. You know, turn it off and watch it right now.
It's not really spoiled
So-
much, but yeah.
The way that the movie starts, I think, is a fucking masterclass in exposition and symbolism. It's telling you that thing I always say. It's teaching you how to watch the movie. It's not. Sure, yeah, they're doing the voice exercises, but the way he films, what he captures. By the way, Nicholas Roeg was a successful cinematographer in Britain. And this was the first movie that he was credited as the sole director on. He also photographed it, so he's credited with both. So that makes a lot of sense when you think about how did they design this film? And then also with the editing, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but it is shot so symbolically that what is seen and how it is seen matters more than any kind of plot device or narrative. It's a very simple story, but how they get into it is really, really powerful. And I think the economy of the editing in the front is so powerful that it just sets you up on, for lack of a better word, like you feel like you're stranded kind of on a trip. You're like, what the fuck? How did we get here? Like there's no explanation psychologically for so much in this movie. And I don't know if there's a stronger testament of that than the opening. Their fucking dad starts shooting at them, and then he kills himself and lights the car on fire, and they are off. Yeah. And they are alone. And there is no explanation.
To say that is actually a very common occurrence in Australia.
For a dad to do exactly that?
Yeah, farm communities out in rural Australia, they start to lose the farm, so dad will just put the whole family down. It's a problem.
And I mean, that's
it's
really
still
sad.
a problem today.
So you think that was all part of his plan? Why is he reading about geology if he's going to do that?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
so apparently in the book, it's I think it's a plane crash. This is based on a novel, and apparently there's an infamous, I couldn't find it, but there's an infamous screenplay that's like 14 pages long.
Yeah,
it was basically written out in I'm guessing like a prose form, or like a treatment. And it makes sense again, because so much of this feels directed. It feels like the movie was captured, not designed. Like Roeg was out there with his fucking camera and these fucking kids, and he was pointing his camera at stuff that he knew he was going to use somehow. And by going at it, I just imagine by going at it that way, it liberated them from feeling like they need to explain anything. The situation's simple. The psychology of the children and how they got there isn't even that important to us. We know what they're up against, and we're scared for them, and we're just going to see if they can survive. And then just for the rest of the movie, they eventually meet the guy. So there's, the classic, like, are they going to make it? They finally meet this indigenous man, this Aborigine, who eventually kind of saves them. And they basically go on some kind of walkabout, and the movie climaxes with them kind of leaving him in this really intense way where, again, it's not explained, which I think is maybe that's even a greater testament than the beginning. The climax is never even explained. You know the result. The young man kills himself, but we don't really know why. And the kids will never know why either, because they don't speak the same fucking language. And that's not the point. The point is, I think, finally shown to you at the very end when you realize she's back at home. She's literally in like the home she grew up in, the same apartment. And she's like taken over now with that kind of civilized life. And she's bored and unsatisfied with her bourgeois husband.
The same thing that obviously happened to her dad is about to happen again.
I hope that's not true, but that could be exactly right. Yeah, I mean, it's just, anyway, so maybe that cycle is a part of it. Maybe we're all kind of destined to like, is there some theme about like, once you see that kind of truth, once you have that kind of experience, nothing will ever live up to it. Kind of how like we've talked about that with war. We've talked about that with, certain kinds of intense trips and things like that. Like once you see the truth of something, you can never look back, and civilized life will just never be the same. Anyway, I'm going to say more, but I think there's a lot of reasons to defend this movie in terms of form and substance. What do you guys think? Why was it not for you?
Dave, what do you think?
I will say watch this for shot composition, because it like every shot is Australia, and it's shot beautifully. Even like the inserts that he uses with the wildlife that they captured along the way. It is beautifully shot. So I can't fault that. I just felt like it lost a little bit of steam about halfway through, because we've got to the point where, like, I think it was about 30 minutes in when they introduce the Aboriginal boy who's on his walkabout, and it just kind of petered out a little bit for me. I feel like they kind of settled into a different tone. It wasn't technically about survival. It went from are they going to survive in the desert to almost a coming of age film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of mixed tones, left me a little bit confused, and that's why I kind of graded it a little lower. Probably more lower than I should have.
You don't think it came back at all from that though, when shit got a little dark there at the end?
I definitely understand where that comes from. I mean, I stayed in a treehouse in the fucking Daintree rainforest. I'll go back there in a heartbeat.
Daintree?
Yeah.
But specifically when they basically, from that scene where the boy says, she's like, ask him how far we are. And he says, we're 1 day away. From there on, when they find that land, in the house, and it's a darker movie. It's not they found happiness out in the Outback. From that moment on, you're like, what's happening? And then it builds to his dance and stuff. That didn't feel kind of the same way that the middle part felt to me. Did that still feel kind of like it went off the rails a little bit for you? You don't think it came back to that
it felt
kind
like
of dreadful kind of place?
It felt like a shift in tone to me, because I mean, the fact, like, that was a mating dance that he was doing when he came back, and
Like a bird of paradise.
He's failed his walkabout, and he's failed at the mating dance. He's at this point, from that culture's perspective, he's got nothing left to live for, because he's failed twice as a man.
But what I'm saying is, I felt like that was pretty dark. Like that, I felt like that book ended. And you're saying you did not think it ended with the beginning. I feel like that did book in, because once again, I'm watching a culture that is kind of hard to understand. Like the way he presents modern civilization is kind of hard around the edges, and you're not quite sure the motivation for why. And I feel like that sequence like bookended it really well, with like, oh yeah, this is also a mystery, and bad things can happen here too. Dark things can happen here too.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think the thing I did like about the end of it is the fact that they all got something different. For, like, he obviously didn't make it. We don't know what happened to the brother, because he's not in the last shots of the movie. And she's still kind of living back in that pond where they were swimming and playing, and everything was just not a problem at all. It was like freeing, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, come at us, dude.
Okay, I'm lifting it up to it was okay already, because in truth, and it's not just because of your speeches, but in truth, that there are things that are staying with me from this movie. So, for instance, the highs are high. So for me, the highest high is the mating sequence, especially her reaction. And when she is describing to the boy, when he's saying, what is he doing? And the way she's faltering, you could tell she kind of understands what's going on, but also is kind of not willing to like commit to that being what it is. Because, obviously the boy's being somewhat sexual, even though he looks like a bird of prey. He looks like a bird of paradise. The birds are, that's what it looks like. And she almost has this sort of sadness for him, even though she also feels unsafe. But it's like more sadness than the levels and the texture of that is really mastered. That is really stunning. That was a stunning scene and sequence. The death scene was really weird, but the way she handled it, like, why was he in that pose? Like, he wasn't hanging from the tree. His arms were up, like I don't know. But the way she reacted to it, she's great. She's amazing. Like, really, thank God they found her. Like, Jesus Christ, she's so good. And also, and just to set that up as like if that's the centerpiece of this sequence for me, that was really powerful. Backing up to even before the boy finds the road with the boy, with the I'm not going to use the names that they call them but with the Aborigine boy, when you start to realize that the Aborigine boy is purposefully keeping them away, like he's keeping them to himself. When you start to realize that's going on, that's really, you mentioned dark, John. That's beyond dark. That's like, because you see that other woman. Okay, so the reason that I started with it's not for me, but then I'm ultimately going to say it's okay, is because you have this director who did Far From the Maddening Crowd with Schlesinger. He did A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, a musical. And then he must have been good with the studios, because they hired him to work on Dr. Zhivago and Lawrence of Arabia, movie set in the fucking desert. like they hired him to do all this shit. I don't know, as a second unit or as help. I don't know what the studios had him do. And there's just so much. It really, this is a movie that feels like the editing room made the movie. There's just so much. There's so many inserts. There's so many times where they're doing parallels of modern society to the desert, which is very poetic.
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of got it, when like a buck was about to chase, or not a buck, when an animal was about to chase them down, and then all of a sudden it was cutting to like a car about to crash and back and forth, and the camels were see-through. It's okay to be confusing. It's okay to not know. His intercuts
really worked.
It's and you know what? They just want to cut to a nice, unique lizard out of nowhere and then put it back. And luckily, like the pace, like emotionally, it makes sense. The music was also really helpful. I'm assuming that was a didgeridoo or some kind of a didgeridoo. That was in there for a bit, yeah. It kind of sounded like a vuvuzela. But anyway, it's just a really bizarre movie. And it was never not going to be that. But I think there's a lot that's staying with me. The dad losing it again. Why was he reading that book? Why was he being so casual? It seemed like he was meaning to be a good geologist, and then he just starts fucking shooting at the kids or near them. Is he actually shooting at them? The way that the fire happens. There's a lot that's going to stay with me, but watching it was not easy. So I'm wrestling with that in this conversation.
I think you're definitely right in the editing kind of makes the movie, and there's such an intense, informal, not traditional language that he establishes with a bunch of intercutting, a bunch of metaphorical juxtapositional cutting between images, even with the transitions, the way they would move from one place to another, really created just such an unusual kind of watch that I think it's safe to call this movie art house. I don't think it falls in neatly with something, commercial.
Right. Well, Sweetback was strange too. Just not a very different purpose behind those films. But when they would just say like Sweetback, and they would just be like him running, and then the screen would freeze. So that's just apparently stuff that was happening in 1971. So they're all art house.
Yeah, they were big on the freezes in the 70s. Yeah, but no, this was definitely an art house film.
Yeah. I guess we also need to just, I don't know. I feel like it's important to think about the fact that structurally this movie's only 100. What is it, an hour 40? It's not very long.
Hour 40.
Yes, but you're in the desert, so it feels like it's 10 days. I'm kidding. No. But I mean, I think there is something to that, though. I mean, I guess that's what I'm kind of trying to say, because there isn't a plot really, and it is more of a atmospheric kind of scenario that is driven by editing. And it's like entirely driven by however much the director and editor choose to show you of each moment, each scene. Because most of these scenes don't really achieve much. Like the scene when they meet him, that's a story propelling the movie forward. There aren't a lot of other moments like that where like something happens, you meet a character, new information comes in, it changes your leads, and then you move forward. But then, a lot of the movie doesn't happen that way. So I do think it is I just think it's a masterclass in him able to create that kind of language. And these two characters, three for sure, that are really so fucking believable. I mean, I don't know if there's a false moment in this movie. In a movie that is the way you're describing, I think we're taking for granted that I still believe all of the acting. And yet I don't know if there's a narrative necessarily. It's just, I mean, I would imagine he was just telling them like, well, just say these lines this time. Go under the tree and you can't find water. And when it's time, just tell him like, no, this okay. Maybe try this. The birds are eating it. All right, let's take a take and let's go for it. There's not, and the acting is just so real. I don't know. It's almost unsettling. And Dave, what you said about how you don't know what happens to the boy, watching this the second time, it had me wondering if a lot of this movie was clearly the director is the perspective. You can't have the language thing we're talking about, the editing thing we're talking about, if it's not the director's point of view. But there's a little bit of me that felt like that the boy may have been our vehicle, because the sister, she is so good, but it's almost like she seemed like too good to be true. Like she was so maternal
and so level-headed that I kind of wonder if that's how the boy saw her. You know what I mean? Like, she was like his big sister, and he trusted her even when he was scared, even when she was, naked doing her swimming sequence. Do you remember in the establishing shot, the boy's watching her? And
did he swim too? I can't remember if he jumped in.
You don't see them swimming when it takes place. You see it in the flashback, but it also reveals, which maybe this is what I'm actually thinking of, in the final ending flashback, you see the boy sitting and watching her. And then the Aborigine boy gets in, and then the young boy gets in and joins them.
That's right. Okay.
And it kind of did make me wonder, like, if there was a little bit of that as well, which maybe there's a reason why that kind of child's perspective could have been so important, and why this movie maybe did end up shifting into a little bit more of that coming of age thing, which was necessary. So it wasn't just trying to be suspenseful the whole time. Will they make it? I think that would have ran out of juice if it was just, will they make it? You know, like what's that? It has to be about something else, because you know that the Aboriginal guy can make it. So there's no real mystery or intrigue there, right?
I got a little confused when they cut to an entirely different cast in the middle of the desert too, with the balloon things. I feel like, was that just introduced for comedy?
Just to break it up?
That was very, very surreal. Or was it to give the hint that there are other people out in this desert, they're just not finding them?
Yeah. But also, wasn't that who they were supposed to be part of that group, right? Because you would think the dad was a geologist. They were doing weather balloons. The kids recognized the weather balloon. Like,
I think it's that. I think it's also something about how these two lands that he established at the beginning of the movie, the city and civilization in the Outback, at least in Australia, like, it's all part of the same fucking country. You know, it's like there are people who are going like this in the same way that that lovely, I thought it was a crazy sequence when it shows the Aborigine tribe
finding the truck,
finding the dead body and finding the car, and kind of realizing, like, another time where these things cross paths. I don't know. It felt a little bit more conceptual to me, that, like, there are people, white people, who go to the Outback for other reasons. We know that they're lost, but at some point they're probably going to be able to confront someone at some point. You know, I don't know. But I feel like that juxtaposition was the important part.
You know, you mentioned something interesting, which is, like, if it was just about whether or not they would make it, then it wouldn't last very long. It almost became, well, they're obviously going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, that was the risk they ran with that. And so, for instance, they find the water, and it's like, it's an oasis still in the middle of the desert. And so, you know, you don't sit there and say, I feel like it's almost like
it pivoted, and it's like, it doesn't matter if they make it.
Or something like that. Yeah. And she also didn't seem too stressed out. You know, she didn't yell at the kid. She didn't seem like, oh, God, we might die. You know what I mean? There was just something, I don't know. There was something really interesting about that. It made me sad to watch all those animals die. There were, I know they did some cutting, but there were some times where I was like, that looks like they just killed that kangaroo. Like, that looks like that kangaroo.
They definitely did.
Dead.
Yeah,
come on.
They probably went to a
What are the Australian rules? Like, if you're allowed to kill a boar as long as you eat it all after. They just fuck. Like, I was watching these animals die. I, like, hugged my cat so tight.
Dude, if they went out on a cull, like, because kangaroos are a pest. If you don't get,
they didn't have PETA, they didn't have child labor laws, they didn't have child other laws. Like, it's a very interesting shoot for sure. Yeah. Where was Crafty, Dave? Where did they set up the tent? Because I mean, they probably had to walk really far to eat some lunch.
Yeah, I think Crafty was in a truck at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's back in civilization. You can get Crafty if you find the road.
You put some food in a backpack and went out. That wasn't Crafty doesn't go with you.
You get those sandwiches from Terminal A at LaGuardia.
I also wouldn't be shocked if having the Aboriginal presence in this movie, if it was important to him to consume the animals, you know, so that it wasn't just for performance. I mean, those were definitely real kills. But again, I think that was an important juxtaposition. And I'm not advocating for violence of animals, but in the context of this movie specifically, showing somebody whose livelihood depends on it, like that young man in his Walkabout, which still happens, you know, that is something that we don't look down upon when they're hunting for survival. In the way he cut in between that and, like, the car when he was first hunting in all the freeze frames, the first time you saw him going after the kangaroo. I mean, you know, we're fucking lying to ourselves if we're not saying that, like, there's violence against animals and people in the civilized world. We've had kangaroo burgers. Remember the
Honestly, killing the kangaroo that way is probably better than what we do to like chickens and cows here in this country, if we're being straight up.
without a fucking doubt, dude. That's like definitely true. What was the name of that place on Ditmars? The Australian place.
Thirsty koala.
Thirsty Koala.
The Thirsty Koala, where you could have real kangaroo burger, which, by the way, is not good. So I know that if you're hungry, you would eat a kangaroo in a heartbeat.
Of course,
but
it's not good. It's our cheap meat. It's what you buy when you can't
look at
afford
that kangaroo.
steak.
What about that kangaroo looks delicious? What about that looks delicious? I'd rather eat the fucking grass growing by that little oasis.
I thought it kind of tasted like venison. That was okay.
Ugh.
Anyway.
Venison's so much more tender.
A lot of animal death for sure. What did you think about? I thought this was explicit in the imagery and the way that it unfolded and builds to what we're all calling a mating dance now. I thought the sexual eroticism, like the sexual awakening that she was kind of going through was really interesting. And it something kind of came down to their ending sequence where, Jeffrey, you're saying it's like she almost felt bad and sad for him. She knew what was happening. It's almost like this movie, it is not about this, but at the crux of the relationship between her and him, and even the boy and him, is communication. And how they had survived with like a basic understanding of communicating, like water, food, directions. And in that moment, they like couldn't actually express what maybe both of them were maybe willing to discuss or express, but there weren't the right words there. And that same communication that allowed them to survive did not allow them to move into that next level of some kind of sexual relationship.
I mean, she's trying to get back to the city, and then in a very mature moment, she realizes that, like, if she gives into this dance, she doesn't. She goes away and lives with this tribe.
And
that's big, Dave. Are you giving her that much credit?
No
That's
way
awesome.
Can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm still
that
going.
She realized that.
Well, you mentioned sexual awakening. I would say it's more of like a sensual awakening, and I think that's part of what they sold her on that with that. So it's like, anyway, I'm certainly not going to go into that anymore, but
why not?
When it because I can't believe this movie is available to watch. That's first of all, like if you just want to like think like from a modern perspective, I can't believe that it's just available to watch. They kill animals and then stuff is happening with children. But also,
I did actually look that up, and it has been classified as art because it's not explicit as in a sexual way.
Exactly.
So it falls into the what we were saying before about it being an art house film, and that's the reason why it wasn't banned.
So we can call bullshit on it, but if it's a sexual awakening, that kind of runs contrary to that idea. So this is more of finding freedom and just feeling comfortable.
It's not one that she acts on, though.
Okay. We don't. Whatever. It's in the gray area. It's all good. But I'm just saying. I'm not upset about that or anything like that. It's a very powerful sequence, and so was the one later with the boy. What I'm saying is, I don't think she was 100% sure what was going on. I think she was guessing. I think she had to figure it out. That's why the coming of age of this, I wouldn't necessarily call it, you mentioned the coming of age movie. Is it a coming of age movie or not? It turns into a coming of age movie. But one of these things is you just, rather than being told these things, figuring it out that way is really interesting. That she sees this bird of paradise guy doing that all night, literally until he dies. He will do this until she either says yes or no. And she doesn't really know what's going on, but I think she knows. She's like, I have a really good guess, and I think my guess is going to be right, but I'm not 100% sure. And in truth, that's good. That's a good, powerful thing, rather than being sure or certain about anything.
It's a shame he was so angsty that he had to kill himself because she said
he
no.
waited a long time. I mean, they were out there for a long time, and the director at least didn't. Guys, they're in the middle of the woods, and this guy has been on a walkabout, and he sees a girl his own age. The boy's 16, and the director didn't even mention it in the cinematography, except for that swimming sequence, and then towards the end, where it seemed like he was trying to keep them away from everybody else. It seemed like maybe he had other interests, but it just didn't seem like that was the highlight of his character, even though he's a 16-year-old boy, she's a 16-year-old girl, and he hasn't seen a human in I don't know, months.
Yeah, no, but I mean, and I think that, and I'm not saying you are saying otherwise, but it's important to put out, like, there's no fucking, like, explained love story here where you fucking know they would have done that if a studio had made it. There would have been way more close-ups of them like looking across each other at the fire and looking away and bullshit like that. Like just isn't effective if you're trying to say more than that. And I think maybe we're getting at it now, because that's just a piece of why this is so the concept of their experience and not necessarily an engine to their narrative, because it's just a piece of it. It's way more challenging to reflect on. What was this movie about if it built to the mating dance and that guy basically sacrificed himself to get him there? And then if that's what this movie was about, then how is she just so easily walking away from this? And then, and the movie totally ends with her like, well, she never really walked away from it. She's still considering it. She's still wondering. Dave, do you think that's what you made that comment? Do you think the very end, that flashback, is her wondering what life would have been like if she had stayed with him?
I think so.
Like literally, if she had like married him in the tribe and stuff?
Yeah, because she would have, with the tribe, she would have lived like this because they were living out there and they're nomadic. So there would have been like. Do
you think there was any part of her that did this to save the boy? Or do you think she was scared and a little confused?
I think she kind of didn't know what
was
going on at first. And by the time she figured it out, it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm sure also there's something not figurative. There's something literal about that this young man, I don't know anything about Aboriginal walkabout culture in terms of like when they're supposed to have their first sexual encounter. I don't know if that is how they're supposed to end a walkabout, if they're supposed to come back and take a mate or something, but I wonder if it was speaking to how nature.
Walkabout does introduce you as a man to the tribe because you are meant to
go. Right?
The thing
I
is,
don't
you're
think
meant
it's
to go
meant
out
to find a woman.
Yeah, you're meant to go out and live alone off the land.
And then when you come back,
without the tribe, by yourself. Yeah. You're not meant to encounter anyone. You're not meant to pick up stragglers and stuff like that. So he, in the tribe's eyes, he would have failed his walkabout.
Okay, so then is that a little bit of that another time where there's cross wires? Like he also wasn't supposed to do that with her. He jumped the gun on that. Yes. But then I also was wondering, what I was going to say is I wonder if this is also like the indigenous young man too, and her, of course, is nature forcing them to confront things about themselves that they're not actually ready to deal with, like their sexuality, this burgeoning sexual awakening that was beginning to happen, and this was just, it was impossible to find catharsis in it.
Anything of that, we only got hints of that, I think.
Same, because also with nature, it's like, well, who's to say if they're not ready? Like I think most animals in nature are necessarily ready. Not to draw on this metaphor too much, you know what I mean? It's not really about that.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is, I know Aboriginal people live in nature, what we would refer to as nature, but it's almost like both of them left their home field and went out into the wilderness. Yes, and somewhere out there in the wilderness, they were not ready within the cultures that they came from to take that next level in terms of like sensuality and sexuality. And I don't know, I just wonder, again, it doesn't have to be diagnosed, but that idea was planted so effectively by that sequence that it makes me look back at the rest of the movie and say, what else was he saying? There's no way that's only what this was about. And we have this wonderful flashback that tells me that she's thinking about it too, so I'm not crazy. So like, oh my God, this meant so many different things, but I guarantee you it's not going to be as simple as saying they fell in love or something like that.
That was definitely a flashback to simpler times. Like life is simple. You get hot, you go for a swim. You like
totally naked.
The tribe doesn't care about clothes,
right?
Except like he spends most of his time wearing just that one little like loincloth piece.
Yeah. Total liberation.
My man killed so many animals. That's why I was wondering how long they were there. Because I was like, do we need to kill another animal, man? I think he can live up the kangaroo for a week.
Yeah, Dave, I did notice, are the Aborigines like fucking carnivores? Like, do they not eat any vegetables? Are there not a lot of vegetables that grow in the outback that are that edible?
Depends.
You need some
depends
fiber.
Where you park up. So, like, if the tribe moves, you eat what's in the area.
Okay. Because he was killing a lot of, they were eating a lot of meat. Those kangaroo legs,
a lot of meat.
Yeah,
look pretty good, man. Yeah, I was like, I would get down on that.
Well, when you consider the alternative is witchy,
look good.
You consider the alternative is fucking witchy grubs you pulled out of a tree. Like,
yeah, that's true. Honestly, that board.
Yeah,
looked
totally.
pretty
I thought they were going to get sick on those
I
berries.
also have two big questions. Oh, well, one flaw and
Was
one
that
big question.
Was that Don Jr. that was killing those animals?
So, one big question, when they found the farmhouse and they go inside and they look at the photos, there's like 3 people in the family. Then she walks out the back and there's 3 graves. Who buried the last one?
Good question.
I thought about that too.
Like, did she just find a murder site?
But Dave, this is all in her memory from the future. Anyway, and what was the other question? That's good.
In 70s rural Australia, when they find the road and the truck goes past, that truck would have been going 3,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, that truck is going slow. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are they just to the metal as fast as they possibly can?
There are spots of the road out there that just don't have speed signs.
It's just Mad Max out there.
Yeah, although every now and then, the funny thing is, if you're going across like the Hay
What
Plain
if Mad
and stuff,
Max just came over the hill, just like
if you go out in the middle in the Hay Plain, they have like you're driving along, suddenly there's a big line on the road, and then you drive like a kilometer down the road, there's another line, and it's police in a plane tracking your distance between those lines to find out if you're speeding.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask, like, how do they enforce speeding in the middle of the outback?
Yeah. I don't know.
They probably cares too, right?
They don't.
Like,
You know how they enforce it? If you kill yourself, you were speeding. You were going too fast.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, because also the road spontaneously dips like that as well.
Yeah.
Because
My only question. Sorry, Dave, you finish up.
No, I'm just talking.
My only question is, why was that guy who saw a 16-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy show up? Why was he such a dick? He was like, "Get the fuck away from me! I work for the company." And they're like,
no
"Look
one else
around.
was
We're
living there,
the only
dude.
ones here. Why don't you wonder where is your father?"
That guy
You should
was
call
not
someone."
right.
He was such a dick. He was like, "Get the fuck away from me! Go back! I don't give a shit where you go. I work for the company."
In Australia, everyone who lives in the country by themselves is crazy.
Also,
I honestly, that's kind of how I took it, and it was also
it was a very get off my lawn. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, it was also one of those where they had already told me that I'm never going to understand the reasons why adults act the way they do in this movie.
That's a good point.
Adults specifically,
especially that older lady, the brunette lady that found the boy and was talking down to him. It was like very
yeah.
It was a very much like a not debutante. What's the
that one? That actually is kind of in a serious way, not the joke way, Dave, but it is pointing to what you're saying. That little sequence showed me that at least they wanted me to believe that this man and his wife and their kid live out there and they make these little antique things with the Aborigines and he sells them and she is living in the middle of fucking nowhere and she has nothing inside of her. She's an empty vessel at this point. She's just a hollow body.
He's exploiting those people. Like
For sure.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot going on there, right? So would she have just watched these kids go by and like, there they go and not thought much about it? Probably. I believed it.
And the way she was talking, she reminded me of like an antebellum American. She was talking down to, you know what I mean? It was nasty. She was like a lady,
like a master's wife kind of shit.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But that one shot of her holding the baby, that peekaboo shot of her holding the baby outside the house, looking through the screen door, and she's just looking out like there's just nothing behind the eyes. I don't know. That's really did something to me. I thought that was very eerie.
That's isolationism. Like if you
exactly.
Live, yeah. You forget how to interact with society at all, or you actively start avoiding people.
I hope that guy got to choose the shirt he wore, that gold button-up that he was wearing.
Oh, Jesus.
Why? It was fantastic. It made me think of the villain character in Rescuers Down Under, Joanna's owner.
Obviously,
the poacher guy.
He drives over to the Goldie to sell this shit when they're done. So he's got that at the Gold Coast. He's brought it back with him.
Okay. Sure.
All right, guys. Well, look, I think we've said a lot about the Walkabout here. Is there any other meat on the bones you guys want to get into, or is there any final thoughts you want to say about it? I've lifted it up to it was okay. I still had a good time talking about this. Maybe I'll see it again and I'll lift it up to good. But I'm happy to talk about this movie. It's a great movie to talk about. Anything else you want to say about it?
I guess I'll just prescribe to people if you're interested. Like, This is a really good movie, and you should try to watch movies like this every now and then.
I think that's true.
Because we so often get stuck in, let's call them like narrative realism, four walls kind of filmmaking in the West in general. And sometimes you forget like what movies can be.
Yeah.
And
when you have
I think
no
this movie
fucking
breaks
walls.
a lot of rules.
No rules.
I mean, literally.
No
that one
walls.
fucking shot at the beginning, I think it might all be summed up in those brick walls shots when he fucking slides over and you're in the fucking Outback. It's like, that's what movies can do. You thought that was in the city, and then he was like, boom, watch this. And again, the exposition. Amazing. All right, I'm done. Exposition as this movie is perfect. So what did you guys change your votes at all? You went up.
I went
one,
up.
Jeff?
Dave, what do you think? I went up.
I'm still holding it was okay, I think.
It was okay.
There were a lot of good/great things about the movie.
Yeah.
All right, I might make us watch one other of his if we get there, just so we can see if you guys absolutely don't like him or if it was just this movie.
All right, you're gonna have to sneak it in, but guys, we can't just sit here and do this all night. We got to move on. We're gonna spin the wheel to see what year we're talking about next time we do an episode. John, you want to guess what Dave's about to spin right now? What year do you think we got?
15.
I think that's 2015. Great. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I feel like Dave's about to go crazy and give us like a 1938.
Good guess.
Let's see.
Let's find out.
All right, we're spinning. We got 1988.
Oh,
Split the difference.
1988.
50 years off.
VHS right down the pipe. So many movies came out in 1988. But we're not going to sit here and Google movies. We're going to wait until the end of the episode to tell you what we're watching. But let's do what you've been watching from the past week. Give you our recommendations. Dave, what you been watching?
I've been keeping up with Strange New Worlds. The last episode was a little bit weird. It was also shot entirely in black and white. And a lot of fucking Casablanca references in it. So interesting. But I also caught the new episode of Lanterns, which is the new DC show. I enjoyed it, but actually, I'm actually a little put off with what they're doing because someone said this might be an Elseworlds project, so that like they're still doing that shit. So it's like something that doesn't fit into the main narrative, but it's a story that still needs to be told, but it's not going to affect the main narrative. But I'm like, I don't want to deal with two fucking narratives.
That is a lot. I just love Kyle Chandler though. What was the first thing you watched so I can write it down for the show notes?
Strange New Worlds. Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. John?
All right, I just watched the pilot for Yellow Jackets. I've not seen any of that show, and I might keep going with that. It was pretty.
That's a fucking. Oh god, I don't think it's trippier.
Is that Australian too? Where's that?
No.
Or what? Okay.
No, I definitely want to see those girls get to deciding to become the women that they show them to be in that frozen wasteland, eating each other. So I'm excited to see that show. I'm watching for the first time because I did not go all the way through The Bear. I didn't see season 3 and obviously 4 and 5. So I'm in his sister literally went into labor at the end of the last episode I just finished in season 3. So it's about to be her birth episode, which I'm excited about. Fuck Hulu with the fucking ads.
Yeah.
I don't know how me and my plan got on the ad tier, but God almighty,
I did the same thing.
It's so frustrating.
I paid a certain amount, and then all of a sudden they said, great, you can pay the same amount, and then we're also going to give you ads. And I said, fuck that. Angela has the fancy account, though, so I get Hulu with no ads. I have to say, the birthing episode is not my favorite episode, but it's other people's favorite episode. I prefer...
You guys know you
the
can
episode like
bundle Disney, Hulu, and
no, you can't because it gives
HBO.
you the ad one. It gives you the ad one.
No, you
Give me your
can't.
fancy
I
sign-in.
have it.
So I watched.
Oh my god, these
I
fucking
watched The Bear
updates. Whatever. Anyway,
and Frasier. We're still going with Frasier.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love it. What's the one? It's called Napkins. Napkins is the episode like 3 ones ago. It's the where who's the not the sous chef, who's like the line cook, her like
Yeah, her name.
origin story.
That was
I
a
really
great
like
episode.
that. That was a great. That was my favorite.
I watched that last night. It was really impressive.
John Barenthal's having a hell of a year. So good for
Isn't
him.
he just?
Wait, is Spider-Man in Doomsday?
Don't know.
Because Tom Holland is now going to be in a $2 billion movie and a $1.5 billion movie. That's $3.5 billion worth of movie. If he's in Doomsday, he might have a $5 billion year. He might
crazy.
have a year
I
in which
don't know
he
if
made.
he's casting that or not. Because
I'm not sure.
even
Cast,
though
if he agreed to be in it, basically,
Yeah,
even cast
even-
himself. He says,
no,
"I
but
want to
even
do
if-
this." They would say, "We'll figure out how to put Spider-Man in this fucking movie."
even if they like the announcement they did with all the chairs, there's still apparently some characters not in there that are in there.
All right, great.
It's gonna be one big mess.
So the first thing I watched after last week's episode, for whatever reason, I watched The Northman again. I don't know why. I wanted to watch that Roger Eggers movie.
You wanted some swinging
because I was talking about
action?
Willem Dafoe. Remember I was talking about Willem Dafoe's cock? I think that's why. Guys, I like that movie even better this time. I really did. I saw it in theaters, and we saw it in theaters. It was cool. I saw it was better. I'm going to say it. I like it.
Isn't it great
Anya
that you can
Taylor-Joy.
pause the swinging cock scene as much as you want and the tape doesn't wear out now?
I did rewatch it to wonder if it was a prosthetic cock, but I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I didn't, I swear. Why are you buzzing me? You're the one who made that comment.
I buzzed us both.
I did wonder
Anya
if it was prosthetic
Taylor-Joy.
or not.
What about her?
I don't know if she's great.
Oh,
Sorry.
mean.
What?
What else? Say something constructive about it.
Oh,
Is she in that movie too? Did
I love
tell
the
you?
storytelling.
It's her and
Yes.
Nicole Kidman, right?
yeah, exactly. You
two-
saw this movie.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't remember her. Come on. She's supposed to be the next Meryl Streep. Get out of here.
I
Okay.
don't know if you were watching that Lucky, that thing she's in right now, that spy
I watched an
Apple
episode.
TV
It's
series.
perfectly fine. She's a pro. She knows what she's doing. All right. And then we're Parenthood. We have one episode to go for the whole series.
How is she in?
Oh, and Ted Lasso. I started Ted Lasso, and I actually liked the season. I didn't like last season because I thought every single episode they were trying to be as dramatic as possible, and it was driving me fucking insane. I hated season 3 of Ted Lasso. I'll say it out loud. I hated it, and I actually am like really into this season. I think they're doing good things for this season.
I got that.
Cool. Yeah. I haven't watched that in a while.
Oh, sorry.
Is Anya Taylor-Joy really good in that? The one about chess. I never saw that limited
Yeah.
series, that Netflix one.
I thought so, but I also was apparently living in a blur during COVID because I don't remember anything during COVID. I don't remember any of our episodes during COVID. I don't remember a single thing.
Well, we drank a lot more on those episodes than we do now.
I gained a bunch of pounds. I'm trying to get rid of them before the wedding here in a week, but I gained a bunch of pounds, mostly of drinking. Okay, guys, I went to a wedding right after COVID, and I just tried to wear I didn't even try it on. And I showed up to a wedding, and I put on a shirt and jacket, and I didn't know if I was going to fit in them. Like, I genuinely was like, I
I'd like
cannot
to
unbutton my jacket because then people will know how tight the shirt is on me right now.
As we saw from my photos, my tux fits perfectly. That's why I haven't lost any weight, so that I don't, have a tux that doesn't fit.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that.
I'm doing
All right,
this for
guys,
you.
we're not going to. We're
All
not
that
going to
fried
sit
chicken
here
is for you.
Listen to 10 Seconds of Dasein on YouTube. Dave's going to speed us up. We're going to tell you in 10 seconds what movie from 1988 we're doing next week. See you soon, film fans. And we're back.
We're back.
Guys, we're doing it. We're going down the pipe. The last 2 times we were here, we did not Mississippi Burning. What did we do? Robert
We
De
did
Niro
Midnight
and
Run.
Midnight Run.
We did Cinema Paradiso
Cinema
and Who
Paradiso.
Framed Roger Rabbit.
So not your down the pipe one. So we decided to go with Rain Man, which we haven't seen in a while, and I bet you haven't either, film fans. So go ahead and give it a watch, and we're going to talk about it next time. Was Tom Cruise's job harder than Dustin Hoffman's, even though he won the Oscar? We're going to talk about it. Can't wait. Anything else you two want to say about this Barry Levinson film, or about Walkabout, or anything else? Dave, anything about... There are no big spiders in this movie.
There are not. It's a rare misstep.
Misstep.
When we come back, we're taking a couple weeks off, listeners, but when we come back, all 3 of us will be married.
Not to each other.
Oh, come on, let them wonder.
Bye!